In the spring of 475 BC, the era known as the Warring States period began, resonating with the thunderous sounds of drums signaling war from all directions. Former vassal states that once obeyed the Zhou dynasty gradually rose up, declaring independence and establishing themselves as regional powers. Amid this turmoil, in the high mountains of the Qin state, a young man named Tan diligently studied under the guidance of a wise recluse. Tan was compassionate and brave, harboring an unyielding dream to change this violent world into a peaceful haven. His teacher had taught him that the world would know no peace without people willing to fight for justice. Night after night, Tan would sit by the fire, gazing at the mountains stretching out in the distance. His heart was consumed by the dream of peace and happiness for the people. One day, his teacher called him over and softly said, "You have learned the principles of benevolence and fully understand military strategy. It is time for you to leave this place and bring your knowledge into the world." With immense respect, Tan bowed to his teacher, bade farewell, and, carrying his sword and books on military tactics, set out to find a path to peace for all under heaven. Arriving in the Zhao state, Tan quickly recognized the might of Zhao's military. There, he met Lian Po, a renowned general, and the two quickly became close friends. Sharing dreams and ideals, Tan admired Lian Po's prowess, not only in strategy but also in loyalty and patriotism. Though Lian Po knew war was unfavorable, he believed that protecting his country came first. One moonlit night, as they sat in conversation, Lian Po looked into Tan's eyes and said, "If we do not fight, the people of Zhao will be trampled. As a general, I must prioritize their safety." Those words weighed heavily on Tan's heart. He understood Lian Po's loyalty and courage but couldn't stop questioning. Could there be a way to achieve peace without swords and spears? After parting with Lian Po, Tan continued his journey to the Wei state, known for its fierce wars and brilliant strategists. There, he met Sun Bin, a kindred spirit and one of the greatest strategists of his time. Sun Bin possessed profound wisdom but also an inherent compassion for innocent lives. Under Sun Bin's strategic guidance, Tan witnessed how intellect could change the course of war. After a triumphant battle, Sun Bin looked into the distance and said, "Victory brings glory, but it is also a burden. Although I possess this talent, every time I raise my sword, I bring suffering." Those words again stirred Tan's thoughts about his path. He became determined to find a way to achieve peace without relying on weapons. Tan realized that without cooperation from the feudal states, peace would remain a distant dream. He spent years traveling to the Qi, Chu, Yan, Han, Wei, and Zhao states, building connections with rulers and generals, hoping to organize a peace summit. He wished to establish an alliance where states would pledge to maintain peace and prosper together. However, the ambitions and selfishness of the ruling elite became the greatest obstacles. When peace seemed within reach, a powerful faction within the Wei court conspired to disrupt the plan, fearing their power would be threatened if the states united. The summit ended in disappointment and frustration for Tan, who then came to realize that perhaps only unified strength could end the wars and bring the states together as one. Returning to Qin, Tan witnessed the rise of King Qin Shi Huang, a ruler with a fierce determination to unify all under one dynasty. The king invited Tan to be his strategic advisor, promising that peace would come once all states were united under one rule. Tan agreed, hoping this was the path to realizing his dream. Under Tan's guidance, Qin's army gradually conquered each neighboring state. Each victory brought Tan a glimmer of hope for peace. Yet it also filled him with sorrow as he witnessed the destruction wrought by war. He found himself caught between his ideals of peace and the harsh reality of war, questioning if this path was indeed the right one. When Qin Shi Huang successfully unified China in 221 BC, Tan felt both relieved and burdened. He sought permission to leave the court, returning to the mountains where he hoped to find peace after a life of turmoil. There, he spent his final years writing down his thoughts on peace, compassion, and righteousness, hoping to leave valuable lessons for future generations. In his final lines, he wrote, "I have traveled the world, witnessed the brutality of war, and the compassion within humanity. True peace only comes when hearts are united, and ambition is set aside for a noble purpose." The story closes with Tan sitting under an ancient tree, his gaze stretching into the distance, a smile forming on his face. He knew that despite a life of upheaval and sorrow, he had contributed a part to the dream of peace for all.